welcome to our show. My name is Business, in which we review the events of the week economically and politically. And tonight we're starting with the latest event taking place on our local scene in Egypt, and that is the events of Kardessa. A senior police officer was killed when security forces stormed the village of Kardessa outside Cairo Thursday in the latest crackdown on militants. Military and police vehicles surrounded Kardessa in Giza as police special forces were deployed to confront terrorists in the village. Giza Security Chief Nabil Farag was killed in clashes, while 60 people were arrested in the operation. Authorities slapped a daytime curfew on the village as they went door to door in search of 140 wanted men, including those behind a massacre in Kardessa, in which 11 policemen were killed on August 14th. The Interior Ministry spokesman Hani Abdel Latif said security forces are pursuing the campaign in Kardessa and will not stop until it clears the village of all terrorist and criminal elements. On August 14th, just hours after authorities launched a crackdown on two illegal sit-ins in Cairo of Brotherhood supporters, 11 policemen were found dead at the Kardessa police station. Several other police stations near the village were also torched. Thursday's operation comes days after a stealth raid on the central Egyptian town of Delga in the Minya province, which was held by hardline Islamists for more than a month. The raids are part of a massive crackdown on terrorists who carried out attacks after the ouster of Brotherhood President Mohamed Morsi. Authorities have vowed to put an end to the recent wave of terrorism launched by supporters of Morsi. Morsi's removal came after millions took to the streets to demand his overthrow after his year-long turbulent rule that deeply polarized Egyptians. Central Bank Governor Hisham Ramiz said on Thursday that Egypt has returned to Qatar $2 billion that the Gulf state had deposited with Egypt's central bank after negotiations to convert the funds into three-year bonds broke down. Qatar had sent Egypt $3 billion in May, of which it converted $1 billion into three-year bonds. Ramiz said the Qatari authorities had agreed earlier to convert the entire remaining $2 billion, but then changed their mind. On July 1st, Egypt converted the $1 billion into three-year bonds at 3.5% interest, and in May converted another $2.5 billion of Qatari loans into 18-month bonds at 4.25% interest. The cabinet has set a minimum wage of government employees and workers to 1,200 Egyptian pounds, equivalent for $175. The decision, which Prime Minister Hazem Al-Biblawi said is meant to ensure decent life for citizens, will take effect in January. The government is considering setting a minimum wage for private sector employees, but has yet to decide on such measures. A minimum wage has been a long-time demand of Egypt's workers who participated in the 2011 revolution. Prime Minister Hazem Al-Biblawi said on Wednesday that the cabinet agreed to set a minimum salary of £1,200 in addition to other bonuses received by government and public sector employees. During a press conference, Al-Biblawi said that the decision will be implemented starting from next January. The Prime Minister added that the cabinet will discuss the status of the private sector employees in a later session. And we have with us our guests who are going to shed more light on the issues that we brought up, plus more. We have with us Dr. Hassan Shafi, economic expert. Hello, sir. Welcome with us here on Money Means Business. As well as Mr. Hassan Ashraf Nagi, economic expert. Welcome here with us. And we'll go for a short break, after which we'll be back and we'll resume with our guests. what we started talking about. Stay tuned to us, don't go away. We're coming back to you in a short moment. Welcome back to Money Means Business and Egypt, as we saw here in the break, and the people of Egypt, and that's what we're talking about, our own the developments taking place on our local scene mainly, and starting with the sad event taking place in Kardassa, and the general Nabil Farag being killed there in clashes, while 60 people were arrested in an operation to arrest the killers, the murderers of the police station officers that took place a while back. And starting right away with Dr. Hassan Al-Shafi, how do you comment on that dreadful event? Of course, the involvement of the so-called Islamists in the ugly events taking place in Egypt.
Okay, before I focus on Kardassa itself, I like to summarize our priorities in Egypt now. Our top priority right now is security. If we don't have a security, I don't think we can make any other moves for the economy to improve the economy. Therefore, when we talk about security, Kardassa is one of them.
Yes.
Minya, all these other details. You cannot have a stability in this country when you have people play around and dictating their rules.
Definitely.
This is a state. This is a very respectable state. Egypt is much bigger than just a group of people occupy a little place and try to really roil this place. What happened in Kardassa, it has to happen. I think we're looking forward to clear. If we go back, really,
what happened in Kardassa? What happened in Nahda Square? What happened in Rabah Al Adawiya Square? They're not, separate.
We can have our difference in opinion and political directions, but let's respect each other and let's play it peaceful, and let's not hurt our country. What the other group doing right now, they hurting the country, they pulling all the economy of the country down, they pulling the future of this country. So if really looking for the future for Egypt, we must really stress our efforts on security. When I'm talking about security, I'm not talking about only these big spots like Kardassa and even Sinai afterwards and all. But I'm even talking about traffic.
Yes.
I'm talking about people who are not obey the rules, the law. No country can improve and develop without stating the law and make sure everybody really forcing the law on the people. That's number one. So in what happened in Kardassa, I think we are very happy. We are sorry, of course, for the general who died or for any injuries.
Yes.
But, you know, it has to be done. This country has to come to a very peaceful stations, stable situations, and we cannot leave these spots here and there, because this is will not how we can talk about tourism, and we have this kind of troubles. How we can talk about industry, agriculture,
yes.
Trade, anything. There are no future for this country unless the security is 100% become stable and settled again.
Yes, yes.
So my opinion, I think they done a good job. I hope they completed. I hope we hear the good news one day. They clear Sinai and all the spots, and I advise whoever have a different opinion, let's play it with culture. Let's play it with a peaceful way. Let's not fight each other. Let's build our country and build our economy.
Mr. Naguib, you know, what do you say about that? And when we discussed, you know, the international media actually focused on Rabaa al-Adawiya and focused on Nahda Square and dispersing the sit-inners. And, well, nobody's just focusing on Sinai, the events taking place there, actually the efforts taking place there, the war, the horrible war taking place against terrorism, to eradicate terrorism. But we see instead that the international press and some stances of some European countries, let's say the EU and the United States, taking a stand as if they are backing up terrorism and trying to foil our own efforts in order to eradicate terrorism, while they claim that they are against terrorism and they are fighting against terrorism.
Any country that supports the international terrorist organization of the Muslim Brotherhood is by default supporting terrorism. What is more important for us right now than what foreign media are trying to relay and misinterpret,
yes.
To the public, and again we're separating administrations and governments from the people. We have absolutely no problem with the people of all the countries that you just talked about. Again, it's a political issue. What's important is that we're focused on Sinai, and we're focused on what is happening internally in Egypt, and we're optimistic, and we're happy with the way things are going. Now, whether it's Kardassa, whether it's